in cold Wisconsin.
It's not even that cold. It's about the same as Idaho.
I'm in short sleeve. I feel it nice. It's like awesome. So
Yeah, this is normal.
We are at Fastlane Detailing, the home of Mike Carlin, the myth, the legend. And we hopped on a plane yesterday, flew into Minneapolis.
You guys had a little problem, right?
Yeah.
Well, there is a Thorpe, Wisconsin, and there's a Thorpe, Minnesota, and they literally, the hotels have the exact same address.
And Google took us to
Google
Minnesota.
said, you're in Minnesota, you need to go this way. So, it's not an adventure with Jody and Rod unless you get lost once, unless you...
This has actually happened to us twice.
Yeah, twice.
So,
You should probably get a traveling agent.
No, that was the thing.
You just need to let me do the navigating.
That was Google. It wasn't me.
It was actually Google this time. So we're not here because of that. We're here for IGL's Aegis Training, and we're actually really excited about this because we feel like this is one of the coolest new innovative products and directions that you can go. This is such a deviation from detailing, right? I mean,
it is. It's a whole different pivot. It's we got to think outside the box. A lot of times there's a real problem in the world, and it's corrosion. Of course, IGL has always been known for the automotive world, the sector. And this has just kind of opened the eyes to a lot of people, whether it be the protection of corrosion, whether from pipelines to, amusement parks to,
air conditioning. When I was talking to Joel and we were talking about an air conditioning unit, there's so many directions you could go, and so this is something that took a long time. I think Joel was saying 5 years in development and testing just before you guys actually even released the first product. So, what can you tell? What makes it so different? What is it different about it versus like a traditional corrosion protection, which kind of just lays on top?
Yeah, well, there's two things. A lot of people think of Aegis and they think of a ceramic coating.
Yeah,
right.
And we always have to get that out of our mind. We always try not to even use the word coating because when people say coating, they think of ceramic. Even though everything that is applied is some type of a coating.
Yes,
right.
So this is really like a 2K paint system. So we're all familiar with like wool wax and all them undercoatings that are gooey and they just are a mess.
Yep.
And this really is an anti-corrosion graphene reinforced 2K system. So it's literally like putting a clear coat on something. It's going to harden. It's going to be, it can be clear. It can be tinted. It's very flexible. It's got good impact resistance, and it doesn't make that mess. So now you can have that aesthetically. You can make something look really nice. Yeah. That's what we have to be careful of. When we teach today, we're going to tell people like the awe factor is we can take something that looks really horrible and make it look really nice. Yeah. And that's the only problem that we have as detailers sometimes is separating that because we're like, this looks really nice, but I want it to even look better. And, it's just kind of a nice characteristic of this product is we can make things look nice.
Yeah,
right. And that's like really a secondary, right? That's a secondary thing. But I think the nice part about that is that you can achieve two things at once. And that's great. But really the thing that if anybody's ever tried to do car restoration or anything, corrosion is a massive problem. And this is something you can actually impact the corrosion resistance of something and get the longevity in there. This is where you can step outside of the realm of, a 6-month maintenance. You can take a piece of equipment that's several $100,000 and make it last longer, which is a huge value to your customers. And, I'm thinking about so many people that are in wet, cold climates that during this time of the year, their business just dies. And this is a huge asset. You can bring in equipment that's going to be sitting there all winter, get it prepped, get it, I don't even want to say the word coated now. Get it sprayed, and get the corrosion protection on there before the next season. And this is just, I just smell money.
Yeah,
I just smell money.
It's a great way to pivot, and and that's the one thing too is a lot of people say, how long is this going to last? And we really have to look at the applications being put on. Like I go into it thinking like, how long does something last right now for them? How many more years can I get for them?
That's what I look at.
Different. Yes. If I put it on something just sit outside, it's not being abused. But is this being put in a very abusive, harsh environment? If they can only get a year now, maybe I can get them 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And that is where your ROI comes in. So
Well, and if you talk to people that are using any kind of, I don't care if it's an equipment trailer, utility trailer, toy hauler trailer, RV, anything, look underneath of it. The frame starts rusting out. It starts corroding immediately. And this is just going to get, I mean, people buying $250,000 motorhomes, and the underneath side of that thing is brown and rusty within the first year.
Yeah.
So this is something where you take that large investment, and I keep looking over here at this giant tractor next to us. That's a big investment for somebody, especially in any kind of farming, mining, industrial, construction. It just keeps going. So
sky's the limit.
So the thing that people are going to come into is going to be cost, right? So you need to come to a training. This is not applying a ceramic coating. Again, this is a 2K process. You're spraying it with a spray gun. You have to understand the spray gun and the pressures and all of that. So we're really excited about getting in there. I am, because I paint, and so I want to see how much different it is.
Yeah.
And then I'm interested to see how many people are concerned with things like the cost of it, because to me, there's no more cost than getting into detailing. No. Spray gun's a couple $100. You know, you've already got a compressor.
No, and I think you'll be amazed at how far a kit goes.
That's what my son and I were talking about.
How far the product goes, what's the cost of anything? Because the cost on anything, cost on a ceramic coating. If I went to IGL's training in Lexington, let's say, the training center there, and learned and became certified on IGL's regular ceramic coatings, there's a cost involved in that. So this is no different than that. It's just that this, as opposed to just adding as an add-on to your detailing business, this is a complete other business.
I think the big thing, you know, just from our conversations that I took away last night, just at our meet and greet, which was great, was, you know, we walked in here, you have a kind of a recreational application, we have an undercarriage application, and we have an agricultural application, right? So my mind immediately went to, there's so many opportunities with the IGL Aegis product, but you have to really think about it in some ways as a different line of business, right? And so really thinking about an industrial approach to your business instead of this kind of retail approach.
And we teach that. Like, you're going to hear us today, like, some guys are going to use it just in their detail shop, and they'll use it as a undercoating, which is totally fine. But we also teach that you become a whole nother business at some point. You know, pivot your business. Nobody's going to come to fast lane detailing expecting to get a corrosion problem taken care of.
Right.
No,
they're going to come to fast lane corrosion specialists or something.
Yeah, industrial products or industrial protection. We were actually talking to one of the attendees of the training about how they're going to set up their business and what the name should be. Because to me, I would do the same thing. I would set up an LLC, or I would set up another business that's a DBA of your original business. Because you wouldn't. I'm not going to go to, you know, Mike's Auto Spa and get my UTV corrosion protection. I would have some kind of an industrial coating type of company name where people can go in there. And you've got a perfect facility. I don't know, these are what, 16-foot ceilings, 17-foot ceilings?
Yeah, that's awesome.
So you've got a perfect setup for that. You've got a nice drive-on lift with cables that is perfect for doing undercoating jobs and UTVs and everything else. So you don't have to have all that stuff. I bought a set of the torque lift jacks that take your car up this far. It's $1,500. It's nothing. And you could do it that way, or, you know, if you're starting out, you know, you can rent a shop or do something to where you can get this going. So IGLcoatings.com or IGLcoatingusa.com. If you don't know Mike, you really don't know the industry, or Joel or Marcus. But we're going to be doing some more stuff on this afterwards. We're going to do some follow-up podcasts on what we thought about it. I'm going to do some applications on, like, I've got 3 trailers, an RV, and a truck. So
we're going to go
do some fun. Check it out, because I live in Idaho, which is really similar. We use the similar type of salt products. Very, very much agricultural and stuff. But I encourage everybody to go out and check this out.
You know, with you being, one last thing, like, it doesn't matter where you live.
No.
Yeah, no. Corrosion is everywhere.
We all have a different type of corrosion that we deal with.
Yes.
Yeah, whether it's salt, or whether it's the brine they put on the ground, or whether you're dealing ocean, whatever. And that is like number one problem in my opinion, in like the restoration world is corrosion.
Yeah.
Always is corrosion, no matter what. You can see a 2018 truck with the sides rusted out anywhere. Go to any state. You know? So,
Yeah.
find out about the product, ask questions, and we're going to be coming live for the next 2 days, but we're going to be doing a lot of the training. So they're going to be short spurts. It's not going to be 42 podcasts because we're getting our hands dirty.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. So let's go get some education.
Let's do it.
All right.
Thanks, guys. Look at that, right on time.